Hey, Team Be Stalwart. This is Heidi Bejo, and we are going to talk a little bit today about goals. So, the year's a little more than half over. We are in week 31 of 52. So, we're on the downhill slope of 2018, and it is, if you haven't already done this recently, it is definitely time to dust off your 2018 goals and review them. So, really want to encourage you to take the time to sit down, look through the goals that you set up earlier in the year. If you've been with us for a while, we kind of went through some exercises towards the end of last year to plan out your goals for 2018. So even if you weren't with us, hopefully you did this anyway. And so regardless, it's time for you to take a look at those, review them. How many have you completed? How many are left? If you're looking and they're all left, don't panic because again, we still have a pretty good chunk of the year left. I mean, a lot can happen in 21 weeks. I mean, you can make remarkable change in your life in 21 weeks. So again, don't panic, but hopefully you've got a couple checked off. And if not, this is a brand new, fresh starting point, and that's part of what this group's all about. So what I would like you to do is review your goals and then pick 3 that you would like to focus on for the third quarter. So we're partway through the third quarter, but we've got a fair bit of that time left. As you may know, I like annual goals in terms of giving you vision, but I'm more of a fan of quarterly or 12-week goals so that the urgency increases a little and your likelihood of actually completing them is a little bit greater, because every week you waste in a quarter has a bigger impact versus a whole year. So pick 3 that you want to focus on for this quarter. And then for each of those goals, really sit down and look at what is the NAS, and that is the next action step. So really sit down and figure out what that is. So as an example, if you want to work on your hydration, that's something Inga and I preach all the time. If you want to work on that, ideally you should be drinking about half your body weight in ounces of water. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you would be drinking 100 ounces of water. So the first thing to figure out is your next action step can't be, if you only drink 20 ounces of water a day, your next action step can't be drink 100 ounces of water per day, because you're just not used to that, and you need to kind of set up a graduated scale. I would think that's what most people would probably do. So your next action step may be to drink 32 ounces of water the first week, and then go up to 40 ounces, and then go up to 48, and increase somewhere between 8 and 16 ounces a week, depending on how it works for you. So that's an example of a next action step and how you would implement that to kind of kick your goal into gear and make it, for some people it's helpful to have those stepping stones to make things a little bit more attainable. And you kind of have these mini victories along the way, which really helps you build momentum. So as an example, if you went straight to 100, but say next week you really did drink 32 ounces, if that was really your intermediate goal to get to your big goal, then that would feel a little more like you checked off a box and you made a mini goal on your way to your big goal. And it really does build positivity and momentum in your mindset, and that you actually accomplish something, and it will help keep that momentum rolling. So I hope that makes sense. The next thing is literally tracking your goals. So if you've seen my posts in the past, I call them tally-ho posts, where I kind of tally up for the month, how many nights I was at home, how many nights I've been on the road, if I've been taking my vitamins, if I've been drinking my superfood shake, all that stuff, working out. I track all of that. And again, I do post that in a tally-ho post if you want to see what I track. I do that old school. It's a pen and paper, just a basic monthly calendar, and every day I just jot a little note, like if I drank my 80 ounces of water, and if I took my vitamins and my shake, all that stuff. So totally encourage you to do that. Find some type of tracking system. Doesn't have to be the way I do it, but absolutely find a way to start tracking these 3 things that you're working on, especially if it's a habit goal. So there's different types of goals. Some are building habits, such as drinking enough water in a day, whereas others are kind of more a one-time thing. But if you're trying to build, if you have a habit goal that you're working on, absolutely keep track. Because again, day after day, you're going to build this stretch of, yes, I'm doing this. Yes, I'm doing this. Yes, I'm doing this. And pretty soon you're not going to want to break the chain, right? Don't break the chain. So that's just another tip on a way to get you reactivated and more engaged in your goals. And again, building momentum to get to your long-term goal. The next thing I want to talk about with goals is it's important for you to understand that you want to rely on willpower to create, especially habitual goals, for as short amount of time as possible. And the goal is to get it to a habit as quickly as possible. So it takes willpower in the beginning, and then over time, we've all been there. It's just like brushing your teeth for the most part, for most people, hopefully all of you. It's just a habit. Like, you don't even really have to think about it. Like, when you do it in the morning, when you do it in the evening, and off you go. So it's not anything you have to be consciously aware of. So anytime we're trying to build habitual goals, that's what we want to do. It takes willpower in the beginning, but we all know that willpower is not indefinite in its supply. So we have to generate willpower. We have to generate energy, and we need that during the beginning phases of starting any new goal. But then hopefully we get to the point where it becomes routine as soon as possible. In general, research shows that it takes 66 days to make a habit or make an activity become habitual or a little more automatic. So that's why tracking is so important. So it's really, really crucial that for the next 66 days, you are tracking those 3 goals and or your progress on your way to those goals. Make sense? If not, hit me up. I'm happy to talk more about this. But again, 66 days. Sometimes people talk about it being 21 days or 30 days. That's helpful, but to really cement this as a actual habit, it really is 66 days. So by the time we get to the end of this quarter, you should be really rolling down that path and honing in on that, becoming more automatic. But definitely by the end of the year, hopefully then it is truly a habit for you and something you don't even have to think about as much. And we move on and build and build and build to our next goals. Lastly, what I would like to say for you to think about is it's really important that you revisit your goals often. So here we are in August. If you haven't looked at your 2018 goals since the end of December or maybe sometime in January, you need to change that. It's really important that you keep these things front and center. So somewhere you need to post your goals, the 3 that you're working on for this quarter, put them up somewhere. Write them in lipstick on the mirror, stick them on a Post-it note, and put it by your bed. Stick it on the refrigerator, throw some magnets up there, maybe with your tracking sheets. If you use a planner, like a daily planner, put it in there. I've in the past used it as the screensaver on my computer because I work on my computer a lot. So every time my computer goes to sleep, my 3 goals kind of, float all around the screen. So whatever you got to do, and if you got to put it in multiple places, go for it. I know other people that actually put sticky notes in their car so they see it in there as well, especially if maybe they have a habit they're trying to stop, where they stop for, I'm just making this up, but maybe they stop for an ice cream cone every day on the way home from work. So they have a note in there that says, hey, don't do that, or whatever. So make sure your goals are visible somewhere and in multiple places if that's what you need. So quick wrap up, take a look at your 2018 goals, refresh them if needed, put new ones if you've accomplished everything. Pick 3 for this 3rd quarter. We're partway into that, but you still got plenty of time. Determine your next action steps. Definitely track it. Remember, it takes 66 days roughly to make it become habit, and post them and have them visible often. All right, hope this helps and hope this serves you. Super pumped to have you guys here in the group. It's been fun. And lastly, Inga and I would like you to know, as always, to be stalwart and live wholehearted.